we're trying to figure out. Looks like we've got a little bit of live. I think we're live. Excellent. That's what we wanted. That's what we wanted. We're gonna try to be live. We're gonna make it live. We're gonna do it live. Welcome. Hello and welcome to this day. Hello and welcome, we're here to say we've got gratitude coming out of our pants. We've got a place where we can take a stance about positivity and gratitude. We've got good smiles and good attitudes. We've got a place to have a connection time. And if you don't follow me, I rarely rhyme. Love morning now. Hi. Good morning. Oh, good morning, Brandy. Brandy's saying, yes, I got the notification. Boom, boom, boom. We are live right now on YouTube and Facebook. This is Love Morning, a time to share some gratitude, some connection, to align ourselves into the version of ourselves that is loving more, fearing less, floating more, and steering less. That is aligning with our attempts to be an agent of love, connection, kindness, presence, authenticity. Good morning, Brent. Good to see you. And Brandy's saying, looks like I'm singing one of your songs. It could be. I don't know where these songs come from. I very well could have stolen them unintentionally. I did a meditation this morning from the Waking Up app, and you know the huge focus of that app is on becoming aware of where do these thoughts come from, you know, and when you start to realize that these, you know, are you creating these thoughts or are they appearing? And if they are appearing, from where? And that kind of meditation into that can unfold into all sorts of ideas and thoughts. Do we have free will? We have the illusion of free will. Do we have free will? Do you have a choice? There's an experience that I have had that I think about in these ponderings about free will and where do these thoughts come from? And do we have a choice? We think we have choices. I'll agree with that. And the illusion of free will is certainly part of being a human, but do we really have free will? Could you do it any differently? I don't know. And there's an experience that I had where I got a concussion. I fell off. I was doing a rope swing and fell, hit my head, and got a concussion and had, I believe it's anterior grade or retrograde. Anterior grade. It's where you forget things as soon as they happen. So there was a window of time where I could not store a new memory. So I would be in the hospital and they say, do you know what hospital you're in? And I'm like, Scripps? Like, nope, you're in Thornton. Ah, right, Thornton. I think you just told me that, right? And then they would wait 3 minutes, say, do you know what hospital you're in? I said, Scripps? Nope, Thornton. I go, that's right, yeah, Thornton, that makes sense. And they just kept doing it until my memory came back, which was hours later. But that's not the specific thing that I found so interesting. I had a moment. Now my friend had visited me. I took him on this hike, showed him this rope swing, and then I injured myself, and he had to drive me to the hospital. Like midway, I do have a memory of being in the car, going like, "Where are we going?" He goes, "To the hospital." I go, "Why?" He goes, "Because you fell and hit your head." And I was like, "Really? Where are we going?" He goes, "You told me to go to Scripps." So, you know that. It's, so I'm in the hospital, in the bed. There's doctors walking around and nurses totally, everyone's ignoring me. My friend's just kind of sitting there looking bored. And I have this thought of something funny to say. And I go, man, you got to visit me more often, dude. I know how to party. And he doesn't even look at me. And none of the doctors, I said it loud enough because I thought it was, breaking the tension of this weird moment. No one even looks at me. And I'm like, I mean, and finally I said so. I was like, look, not even a courtesy laugh? And he looks at me and goes, you said that 45, 50 times so far? I was like, what? And so what I continually had the thought arised. I go, oh, that's a good thought. I should say this thought. And I said it. Ah, that's a good thought. I should say that thought. And I said it. Ah. Now, I guess you could argue that even though I said it 45 times, perhaps there was 10 times that I didn't say it, and I chose not to say it, even though it popped up in my mind as something that would be funny. But it kept going, ah, that would be funny to say. Ah, that would be funny to say. Ah, that would be funny to say. And I think about that in terms of like, how often do I think I'm having an idea, I'm having a thought, I'm making a choice? Did I have any other choice? And I've really been enjoying where that meditation takes me lately, as far as where they come from. And I won't get too deep into it, but I'll say that it has been inspired by some of these thoughts about the evolution of intelligence. And as humanity and artificial intelligence make their way towards a singularity, as artificial intelligence has the ability to make itself smarter and smarter, more and more capable, and that is this a manifestation of intelligence through the evolution of our species that perhaps happens other places, in other planets and other dimensions? Is there a point in time when life evolves to a certain point that the antennas within can receive consciousness, and from that consciousness they can start to receive the messages that come from this superintelligence, this God, and so as we are manifesting our thoughts that are coming from someplace. Am I getting a little heady? I think I am getting a little heady, and maybe I should spend some time writing this down and articulating. But this is where my meditation went this morning, and that it's interesting how many like sci-fi ideas work within this framework. But more another time. Oh, good morning. If you're here live, please say hello. Share something you're grateful for. Knock me off this wild thought exercise that I'm on. Brandy says, I think that once we come to that place as a species, that's when aliens will make themselves known. Chris saying, I made a wish at 11:11 in my car yesterday, but my car has the wrong time. How can you have the wrong time? You might not be aligned with Greenwich Village timepiece, but time is just a construct. So if it's 11:11 to you, it is 11:11. I give you full credit, Chris. Yeah, I got to figure out how aliens fit into my worldview. I think that aliens and transdimensional beings are kind of the same in my mind. If you can, the distances are so vast within this reality space that if you can transfer between planets or places where there's intelligence, then you're outside of time, right? You're outside of the physics of this dimension. And so you are traveling through cracks in this reality or between dimensions, perhaps. These are the things that we do not have the science to explain or test, so they are purely thought experiments based on little bitty gray areas of what science has demonstrated to us in quantum physics and such. But I am not a specialist in these things. I am simply a psychonaut and philosopher and aspiring humanitarian. Good morning! Brandy says, I use aliens as a general term. All right, I'll agree with that. Thank you. Charles is here. Good morning, Charles. Anyone have anything that they are grateful for to share? I am grateful that yesterday I got to go on service to the law, to being of service to the park system or the national parks. Is that what it? No, it's a reserve. Anyway, he's a docent and he's been trained and he knows all about the plants and the flowers and the animals of a state reserve. And so he leads tours and answers questions and has a patch on his vest that says, ask me anything. And so we walked around and he gave me a tour and people would stop him and ask him questions and he would engage them and show them things in the plants. It was really awesome and really cool to see my dad step into being of value, of worth, even in retirement. I think it's a beautiful thing. Good morning, Izzy. Izzy is grateful that she survived Sonar Week. I am grateful that you survived as well. Hopefully filled with good stories and growth and fun times. Chris says, I am grateful for a scene of two birds being chased by a young bird. It is a lived nature story, similar to the story of the two young fish swimming along. A web producer lost in the sensual fiction of the stem. Brandy says, I am grateful for all the smiles and laughs that my cat Azrael gives me every day. Nice. I'm grateful for another overcast day. I'm grateful for the patience that I am summoning to deal with my back and shoulder pain. I am really, it's been a week now, and not getting much better, which is frustrating because I've got some things I need to do. I've been really just trying to keep it low key, but tomorrow I've got some things happening where it's going to be more difficult. So, and I've had this pain before, and I'm trying to remember like what made it stop eventually. Like I don't have a solid answer. I feel like I try everything, and eventually it just starts to get better. But maybe am I not remembering something? Like I've tried cortisone shots. I've got an acupuncture appointment today. I had a massage. I've been trying heat and cold. Advil helps a lot. It's a very specific, like it's something in the rotator cuff that pinches something back here and then causes a pain all through my shoulder. It makes it tough to sleep, actually. Like I had to sleep on my back last night, which I don't normally sleep on. What makes it way worse is sleeping on my side. So usually I wake up in the morning and it's terrible. So I'm seeing if maybe I can find a way to sleep on my back and if it won't get worse throughout the night. I don't know. Get a TENS unit. I've heard good things about that. Those are pricey, but I guess if I'm shoveling all this money into healing modalities, how expensive could it be? I'll look up TENS. Thank you. Anyone else have anything that they are grateful for that they would like to share with us before we have a hug and go off into this day? I'm grateful that I have a chance to get together with my Stay Sparked hosts today. We're going to record another episode about food and our relationship to food and healthy and unhealthy thoughts around food and our history with it. I would say that between Yanis and Betsy and I think I'm probably have the worst eating habits. I'm very lucky that my metabolism is working well for me, but I struggle. Like I eat well and then I stop eating well, and I often end the day full. So I'm I will plan to confess my dietary sins as well as share the things that have worked for me in the past, and hopefully by listening to them and by speaking about it, I will re-inspire myself to um, to get back on track a little bit better. Let's see. Any more gratitudes? Oh, Tens machines looks like they're. Well, maybe this is not looking right. It looks like it's $140, something like that. That can't be. They got to be more than that, aren't they? All right. Well, I will look into that. Brandy says, I'm grateful that I have this place to come every day to share in this with you all. Thank you, Brandy. I appreciate you being here. And Mingo's here. Good morning. Mingo is grateful to finally be with us in the morning. First time in a long time. Well, I'm so glad you're here. Good morning. Oh, Brandy says her tens was $50. Okay. For some reason, I thought it was like $1,000 or something crazy. I guess that's when you're young. Well, not young, but when you don't have any money, $100 sounds like $1,000. Maybe that's where I'm at. Cool. Well, maybe I'll. Fuck. Although I wonder if I can even use it on myself because of where my pain is. Maybe I can. Anywho, I am grateful to start this day with you. Grateful for the opportunity to focus on being a connector and being authentic. Grateful for a chance to have a good experience with my dad yesterday. Grateful that I kind of a few years ago I made a Facebook message like, hey, I'm going to give you a fatherly message on behalf of the masculine energy. And it was really well received by people. And so I did it again yesterday. I was especially inspired to do it because I just had this experience where the men in my life, a number of them kind of gave me a fatherly message that really hit me hard on my retreat that I went on. And I realized how significant having like a fatherly affirmation can feel, even if it's not your father. And so it was so dramatically powerful to feel that fatherly affirmation that I wanted to offer that. And then I felt kind of embarrassed because I'm like, who am I? But I'm a man. I'm 52. I'm of parental age. I got gray hair. I can identify. I do. Asher has helped me to feel into and connect with an aspect of father energy. So I don't feel out of alignment or out of integrity to offer that. Mingle is grateful to participate in a drag Eucharist in San Francisco yesterday with Bless a Heart. Very powerful. Sweet. Oh, and I am grateful that we have a holiday today for Juneteenth. And my understanding is that it is a celebration of the end of slavery, 2 years after the Emancipation Proclamation, I think. But I'm going to take this as an opportunity to read a little bit more and remember and remind ourselves of the struggles and the current state of systemic racism that we are still doing so much work and require so much work with. So I'm also grateful. I don't know if anyone else noticed, but I am wearing different earrings than I always do. It's so weird. Like I feel like my wooden spirals, I've probably broken dozens of them over the years. It's like it just feels when I look in the mirror, if I don't have them in, it feels weird. It feels like I'm naked. But I've been trying these little plugs that were gifted to me by Katie at a Munai retreat, and I thought, you know what? I'm kind of enjoying them. It's a nice break. Start to feel like my head get used to my head shape a little differently. So I'm grateful for a experimentation with accessories. And so grateful for you. So let's start this day with a moment of connection. So wherever you are, give yourself a hug. Feel me hugging you as you hug me and all those that are here. And pull into this moment those of us or those people that are important to us. And let's give ourselves a reminder of our connection. Give ourselves some forgiveness that we're all doing the best we can, and that's the same with everyone we encounter today. So let's have a little patience for them and for us. A little compassion for them and us as we take a deep breath in and squeeze one another. On behalf of Grandpa Caleb and all of you, thanks for being here for this Love Morning. I love you. Have a beautiful day. Ooh, I'm grateful for a gratitude circle at noon today. I know that I'm going to have a special guest broadcasting from my house. Dun, dun, dun. So feel free to join at gratitude today, which is at zoom.hugnation.com. We'll take you there. Enjoy the day. Happy Monday.